Welcome to Subramani. Recently, a friend of mine got his NSDL statement and he called and he spoke to me and said, I feel smarter than at the beginning of the year because my portfolio is up by about 16%. And so I said, why would you think you're smarter because your portfolio is up by 16%? So he said, well, if I'd kept it in the bank, I would have got something like 6-7% maximum. I've got 16%, so I'm happy with the returns that I've got. So I said, would you attribute the returns to your investment success? He said, no, I listen to you, I listen to many people, and based on that, and I have an advisor, so based on that I decided that that I'm smarter. I'm at least 16% smarter than at the beginning of the year. I said, what happens if I tell you the market was up 18%? Does it change your perception? So then he was silent and he said, did the market go up 18%? I said, that's not the question. The question is, the market returns that you get is a part of your efforts. See, all of us put in efforts to say we will earn money, we will live frugally, we will invest that money, and the choices that we make has brought us here. Now, in a different market, in different circumstances, the answer could have been very different. If you got 16% return in a market which got 18%, so you have underperformed the market. But what happens if real estate had outperformed and had got 30%? Would you feel dumb that you did not choose real estate? Did you realistically have a choice of shifting all your money to real estate and get that 30% instead of the 16% which you got? He had no answers to that because the real estate which he had bought was not giving him anywhere near even 7% return. It was underperforming even the savings bank account. Or the bank FD, right? It was perhaps meeting its savings bank account, but that's about it, right? So the question is, I don't, for example, calculate my returns too much. I only look at my dividend and ask myself, is it enough to meet my day-to-day expenses? And the answer is yes, my dividends are enough to meet my day-to-day expenses. So beyond that, I'm not really worried about what returns I have got. I like my portfolio. I keep buying, I keep selling. So I don't think that 2019 was a bad year, 2020 was a good year and things like that. When I see the market go down, I feel a little bad, but I know that I don't have to do anything for the market to go up again. The market will go up. I have a portfolio which will anyway appreciate. So my question to him was, what would you do? Would you just, if in a bad year, suppose the market is down 20% or your portfolio is down 20%, would you say you're 20% dumber than what you were at the beginning of the year? Because if you say you're 16% smarter, you also have to accept that you're 20% dumber. What happens if the market itself was down only 12%, but your portfolio was down 20%, which means you're definitely dumber to the extent of 8%, right? We all have put in efforts to reach this place. The market keeps going up, going down. We have to keep on investing. That's what we do, right? But the choices that we make of putting into large cap or small cap or mid cap, and suddenly we find that the place where we have put in the money has not grown, but the place where somebody else has put in the money has grown, and you have a very good quality advisor. Based on that, you chose small cap and more small cap and mid cap funds. You had very little exposure to large cap, but that's exactly the year in which large caps gave 70% return and small caps gave 22% return. 22%. Are you happy with that? Maybe yes, but what if I tell you that, look, if you had chosen large cap, you would have been 70% higher. There's no connection between the two. So what would you do? So again, asset allocation, you keep some money in all the markets so that when something goes up, that's great. The other way to look at it is to say, I don't care whether the market goes up, market goes down. I live off my dividends, so my portfolio appreciation is for my inheritors to worry about what they get in their portfolio. It's not for me to worry about because I'm not looking at the principal also, right? So that's one way to look at life and say, look, life is good, my income is enough, I live a good life, I don't need anything more than that, so I don't even calculate my returns. There are people who do that. They say, I don't need to, the question is, do I need to calculate my returns? And they say, no, I don't need to calculate my returns. I'm happy with where I am. I'm living my life. I'm doing some charity. I know I will leave enough money for my children. I also know that in case of an emergency, I have enough money to exhaust during my lifetime. So all those options are open for me. So I don't compare myself on a day-to-day basis and see whether I'm smarter on Dabbar because of my investment results. Because in a different country, in a different market, with different timings, and you having some other major emergency problems and being unable to invest, with all that combination, you're the same person, but you may have got a much lesser return. If you needed money in a clinch in March 2020, you would have sold, and today you would look terrible, but then you needed the money then. So that is the question to answer. We have something called an action bias, so we feel that something we should take action. So when the market is down or up, we think we take action and something happens, and therefore we are smarter. For example, let's say, it's a bad example, but let's say you were going on a tiger hunt, and you were very sure that you would bring down the tiger in one shot. So you bring down the tiger and the tiger falls dead. The question is, that is somebody with you who is a more conservative guy who says, just put one more bullet just in case, and you go very confidently and say, no, I'm very sure that I got the shot between the eyes and the tiger is dead. You go near and you get attacked, right? Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. Have people died thinking that the tiger or lion is dead while attacking? Yes, the answer is. So similarly, the nature imposed a lot of penalties on people who just sat doing nothing or went very overconfidently, versus somebody who said, look, I've already killed it, I know, I'm sure, but I'll just put one more bullet. Let me apologize, because I think it's a bad example. Killing a tiger is not something which is, I want to even say it as an example, but I couldn't think of any other example, right? It had to be a hunt, because in the real life, people would not take a decision. They'll keep on meetings and call for meetings, right? So you think evolution will one day take them all away, but it doesn't happen. They continue to call for meetings, and there are the people who have taken action have been rewarded. The people who have been meeting endlessly have been promoted, right? So it's kind of difficult to say what works and what doesn't work. Most of us have reached here, in fact all of us have reached here because of certain actions that we took. We earned well, maybe we studied well, maybe we earned well, maybe we lived frugally, we invested money, and we are here. But in a completely different circumstances, you could have got it completely wrong. Think of the person whose father lost some money during the Harshad Mehta scam in 1992, and he was of an impressionable age. And that kid thought that, oh, it's a horrible place to be in, stock market, my dad lost money and he committed suicide or something, not as dramatic or drastic, but we had to sell our house in a good nice location and ship far away, 40-50 kilometers away from the city. It completely ruined my father, so I will go nowhere near the stock market. I will keep all my money in bank fixed deposits. So he made the choice, which was rationally right or wrong, we are not getting into it, but then that person has less money than his counterpart, who perhaps had the same education, same logic, and same investment surplus, but he put all the money in the share market and he chose good shares, and he's been investing over the last 30 years, 40 years, whatever the years that they have been working. Obviously his performance has been much better than his friend's performance who was in bank fixed deposits. Does it mean this fellow is smarter and that fellow is dumber? The answer is no. But we tend to start judging ourselves when our performance is good. We say, oh, I have done very well. We don't even compare ourselves to a benchmark. We say, oh, I had this much money, it has grown so much, so I must be very smart. True, you are smart, you made the right choices, but does it mean that you're smarter than the market, you have earned more than the market? No. But choosing the market itself is a good smart thing which you did.